Greetings and welcome to Let's Talk About Books, baby, where we talk with your favorite LGBTQ plus authors. I'm Anita Kelly, and today my guest is Natalie Naudus. Hello, Natalie.
Hi, Anita. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being on the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's a rainy day here, but I've got a cup of tea and I'm happy to be here.
Ah, awesome. Tea's always great on a rainy day. Are you in the Northeast by any chance?
I'm in Virginia.
Okay, close enough.
Where are you located?
I'm in Pennsylvania, and we're having a rainy day, and we're going to have several rainy days. So,
Okay.
yeah. So, Natalie, I want to talk about your debut novel called Gay the Pray Away. And that is hard to say.
Yes. Sometimes people swap it around by accident.
Yeah. I guess that's the usual, right? So let's talk about tell us about that. What is Gay the Pray Away all about? It's a fictional work. Is that correct?
It is fictional.
All
yes.
Right. So tell us about
it's about a girl growing up in a conservative Christian homeschooling cult and how she finds a queer book at the library and smuggles it home because she's not allowed to have it, and goes through a journey of coming out to herself and realizing that the world around her is not the only way to think. And then she meets a really cute girl at church and they fall in love, and she has to decide what she's going to do, what choices she's going to make.
Wow. So is this more of a young adult novel, or is it geared
Yes.
toward? Okay.
It is young adult, but a lot of adults who grew up in church and need some healing from that are reading it, and I'm hearing from them, and it's been very group healing for all of us to be looking back to our younger selves and saying, you were good, weren't doing anything wrong, and to provide some healing that way.
Wow. So it's been pretty cathartic for adults who have grown up in pretty like a strict religious background.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. High control religion is one way I've heard it put.
Ah, okay. That is a good term. Not a good term, but yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So who are the protagonists in Gay the Pray Away?
We have Valerie, who's the main character, and then we have Riley, who is the cute girl who shows up at church.
Okay. So both Valerie and Riley grow up in this, or are growing up in this strict religious environment. Are they both homeschooled, or is just Valerie homeschooled?
Valerie is homeschooled, and then Riley has been in private school and is being homeschooled at the moment. And that's how they meet. Yeah.
Okay. So
through a homeschooling group.
Ah, okay. All right. I didn't even know they had those.
Oh, yes.
So, I'm assuming there's a happy ending, but I won't ask. I won't put you on the spot.
It is a happy ending for sure. People get very anxious reading it, but it ends happily and as gentle and healing as I could muster. So sometimes people are worried about how it's going to end, but it does end happy. Have no fear.
Awesome. I love a happy ending, and who doesn't, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Natalie, is this a little bit autobiographical, even though it's a fictional work?
It is. Yeah. I grew up extremely conservative Christian in a homeschooling cult as well. IBLP, which is the same cult that the Duggars were in, if anyone's watched their show, or the show about the cult that they were in. And yeah, I wanted to write about that, and growing up queer with that kind of control and guilt and homophobia around you all the time. but I wanted to do it in a way that wasn't so personal that I could never publish it. So I decided to write a fictional story, but a lot of the feelings and the environment and the thought processes of healing from that are very real.
I'm sure. Yeah. That's a tough way to grow up. Um, did you, so are you more like Valerie or more like Riley in the book?
I think I'm more like Valerie.
Okay.
Yeah. It's her family's not exactly mine. And I did not meet a girl when I was in high school and fall in love and run away. And I also did not encounter any queer books when I was her age. But queer books were a big part of me coming out to myself. And I wish that I had come across a queer book at the library when I was a kid. So I wrote that into it.
And how old were you, or around how old were you when you came out to yourself?
Not until I was maybe 30.
Okay. So
Yeah.
before that, you were kind of living this straight life, I'll say.
Yes.
And were you
Yeah.
still
I mean,
involved in the church?
I was for a long time because as my job, I have degrees in music. And so my job for a long time was to work as a church organist and a choir director. So I worked in churches for a long time. But when I left home and I went to college and I started meeting queer people, everything started falling apart for me. The worldview that I had handed to me when I started to see that queer people are not the villains that I was taught they were, and that they're real people who have real feelings and thoughts and fall in love just like straight people do. And that started my deconstruction journey, so that by the time I was working at churches, I was doing it truly as a job. And then I did not come out as queer until I was done working at churches, and I had really taken over as working as an audiobook narrator, because I was worried about that impacting my hireability wherever I needed to work at the time.
Mm-hmm. So is that what you do now? You're an audiobook narrator?
Yes, I record audiobooks. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's a great job.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I imagine that gives you plenty of time to write as well. More time than you would have teaching. So that's cool. No?
You would think so, but not really. I work a lot.
Do you? That's great.
My kids play ice hockey, and it's very expensive, so I record a lot of books.
Okay. Gotcha. Got to pay for those hockey pucks.
Yeah.
So
It's the pads, really. It's the pads that get you.
oh yeah. So Natalie, what inspired you to write Gay the Prey Away?
I really wanted to speak to my younger self and other people who went through similar things in a kind way and provide some healing through that. Mm-hmm. And I initially wrote this book just for myself, honestly. And then I decided to go ahead and put it out there. And I initially self-published it. And then it got picked up by Quirk, so it has been traditionally republished as of yesterday.
Wow, that's awesome. So who was your publisher?
Quirk.
Quirk. And can you spell that?
Quirk.
Oh, just like Quirk. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Great. So shout out to your publishing house. So do you think that having something like this when you were growing up would have maybe made a difference for you? Maybe make you feel differently about yourself? Because, going through adolescence especially, it's hard enough. But when you see yourself as different and you don't have anyone to identify with, that is rough.
Yeah. What was the question? Sorry.
Oh, just do you think that this, like having something like this when you were growing up,
Oh,
would have made a difference for you, and changed some things?
yeah, I think so. And even though I didn't have queer books growing up, I still think that books in general kept my mind flexible in a way that a lot of my friends did not experience. So that when I did leave home, I was ready to explore new ideas and meet new people and be open to values and ideas that I hadn't been taught. I don't know if I would have been super ready for this book as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would have thought it was sacrilegious and
Yeah,
untrue.
I could see that. Yeah.
But I also think just the idea of knowing that queer people existed and that bisexual and what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God, I'm totally blanking.
That's okay.
Pansexual people
Oh, okay.
exist would have really made an impact on me because the only way that I heard it discussed was as a binary,
Uh-huh.
that you were either straight or gay
Yeah.
or lesbian. And I didn't realize that there were options in there. So I assumed that because I could find boys cute, that meant I was straight for sure.
Mm.
Even though I also found girls cute, I was like, well, it's either one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that even having information would have helped me realize who I was sooner,
Okay.
even if I hadn't been ready to come out at that time.
So, when you finally came out in your 30s, I'm assuming you were married to a man.
Mm-hmm.
And is that the first person you came out to?
Weirdly, not, but almost the first person.
Okay. Okay.
I was actually, so yes, I am married to a man, and I also have a partner who is a woman. We've been together a couple years now.
Okay.
I'm poly. And I actually came out in an email to a publisher because I was emailing to ask if I could audition for Casey McQuiston's One Last Stop for the audiobook.
Okay.
And I wrote that email and sent it. And then I was like, oh crap, I guess I'd better tell my husband. I guess I never came out to him. And he's known me long enough that he knows that I like women too.
Mm-hmm.
But I hadn't been like, hey, I'm bisexual.
Mm-hmm.
So then I went and talked to him right after that. So I guess so I always say that One Last Stop was a really special book to me because I did end up getting to record it. And it was the first time that I told someone that I was bi, was asking to audition for that book.
Oh, that's fantastic. So your work really brought it all together.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, books are really special to me because they've been part of my journey for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So, how has the LGBT community supported your journey throughout all this at all?
Yeah, so many ways.
Oh, that's
First
good.
of all of the bi authors who were writing queer books really helped me feel like I had a place, even as somebody married to a man. Seeing that they were still telling their stories made me feel like just seeing myself somewhere that maybe there was a place for me. And then when I wrote this book, I reached out to authors that I had recorded their queer books, and a lot of them scheduled events with me. So I was able to do release events last year with Casey McQuiston and Rachel Lippincott. So many people, Cassandra Kaw, there's a bunch more I can't think of at this moment, but they did events with me and helped support my book. And they're really such a huge piece of what made the book release enough of a success that it got picked up traditionally. So I have really felt supported and loved by the queer book community. I really, really appreciate them.
That's so wonderful that they included you and brought you into
Yeah.
the fold. Yeah.
Yeah, even as an indie published author, a lot of these are big trad pub authors, but they really were wonderful to me, and I really appreciate them so much.
Yeah, that's great. And you mentioned the IBLP church. Is that right?
It
I
was a big
Okay.
Christian group.
Okay. I have no idea what that is. I am familiar with was it the Duggars?
hmm
I've heard of them, but yeah, I don't know much about that. So is that, is, did you remain with that church like throughout your marriage and like even after?
No,
No. Okay. So you left there
no,
before then.
yeah, my family was super involved, and as soon as I left home, I was done with that
Okay.
for sure. It's an extremely, it has a lot in common with a lot of conservative American Christianity, but it's even more extreme in that girls aren't supposed to wear pants or work outside of the home or
Wow.
leave home ever unless they get married. It's quite extreme.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
And
Wow.
I knew I was done with that when I left home.
Yeah. Yeah. That's intense. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So, all right, this is totally an off the wall question, but when you left for college, is that the first time you wore pants?
No, my family was not, there was like varying degrees within the organization.
Okay.
And my family, I was allowed to wear pants like at home,
Mm-hmm.
but not at church and not around other IBLP families. So
Ah, okay.
I had worn pants before, but it was the first time that I was around people who weren't Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And that was huge to just meet other people and be like, oh, these people are not villains. They're actually really nice.
Yeah, right. um, and are you still like involved with your family? Are they involved in your lives and your kids' lives? How is that now?
It's actually really complicated. I
Yeah.
would prefer not to go into it, but
Yeah.
it's tricky in a lot of ways.
I imagine it would be. Yeah. Yep. Definitely. Yeah. So, what what does representation then mean to you? Like, um, in your work and in other books. How important is it, and is that like how you approach your work?
For me and for this book, I really did write it from someone with a really similar background to me
Mm-hmm.
who grew up in this environment and who is biracial and bisexual. Um, I did really want to write a sapphic romance that involved people of color because I have really enjoyed and appreciated books which involve sapphics of color. I don't know how to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And just seeing people exist as themselves in the world and online really opened a lot of possibilities to me. Like, just like I didn't know that bisexual was an option, I didn't know that being poly was an option for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird because I read the Bible a lot and there's a lot of poly people in the Bible,
Are
in the
there?
Old Testament.
Yeah.
There's all these kings and guys with a bunch of wives. So it's different.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea that I could be in a meaningful, loving relationship with more than one person, I didn't know it was an option. And so I try to be just exist as myself in spaces because it was so encouraging to me to see other people doing that I hope that it provides something for other people too.
Mm-hmm.
And I started putting like a little rainbow in my bio and stuff as I was recording more queer books because I wanted people to know that it's coming from the heart of somebody who has things in common with, queer people who are listening to these books.
Wow, that's fantastic. It's so weird. I was just talking to someone last week, another author who is in a polyamorous relationship, and he was brought up in a similar lifestyle as you,
Mm.
and it's just interesting that I have encountered the both of you within a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to hook you guys up. Um, but
I'm amazed that when I'm open about being poly or bi,
mhm.
people come out to me privately all the time. And there's more poly people than we think there are, but a lot of them, for various reasons, can't be open about it.
That's what he
So,
said. Yeah, he had the same
yeah.
experience. That's interesting.
So all the time, people will just like thank me extra much for being myself.
Hmm.
And then like later, they'll pull me aside privately and be like, hey, I'm in a poly relationship too, and I can't be public for this reason, but you existing means so much to me. Yeah. So representation, really, really important.
Yeah.
If you have the privilege of being able to be out, I think it helps other people. It's helped me.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. It's healing, you know?
Yeah.
And so you're still with your husband, and
Mhm.
does he have another relationship or relationships?
No, he doesn't. He is monogamous. But like I ask him all the time if he's sure.
Yeah, yeah,
He doesn't want, because like that's only fair. But
sure.
no, he's monogamous, and my partner, she is monogamous as well. Um, that's just because I am in love with two people doesn't mean they have to be.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah. It doesn't work that way always, you know? So,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, it sounds like your identity has really influenced your voice, in Gay the Pray Away, right?
For
Uh,
sure.
and I'm wondering, um, are you working on anything right now?
Yeah, I'm doing a couple things. I run a Patreon of spicy sapphic short stories with my partner. Um, she and I write the stories together, and then I record them. And we are getting ready to release a anthology of these short stories quite soon, of the stories that we've compiled over the last year and a half that we've been running this Patreon. And
Cool.
then also, I do plan to eventually write with her a poly romance. And we go back and forth and we start and stop about whether we're going to fictionalize it or just tell it as it has happened for us. But it's definitely something that we want to do
Okay.
as soon as we can.
Yeah. Yeah. The gentleman I spoke with last week, his is more along the lines of a memoir. So
Mm,
he's kind of telling his story, but he's also telling other people's stories at the same time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who is it? Can you tell me? Or
Um, I knew you were going to ask me his name. Uh,
just
his name is Wayne Scott.
okay. Cool. I'll look him
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. He his recently published book is called The Maps They Gave Us: One Marriage Reimagined.
Oh,
Yeah. It's very
awesome.
similar to your story. I mean, you guys are running parallel, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, you should talk to him. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. What are you writing these days? You have another book coming out soon?
Oh no, I am not published.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I um working on a couple things. So you know, I don't know. I don't have a lot of time. I say that, but I should make time, right?
I guess so. I had looked up, I thought, is your last name Kelly?
Yeah, yeah, yep.
But you're not the Anita Kelly who has written like 6 books.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
I am not. There are quite a few Anita Kellys who are authors. So I'll tell you a funny story about Anita Kelly is a professor at Notre Dame University in the psychology department, and that is my background. I am a therapist, a psychotherapist by trade, and my uncle was a brother, and he was stationed at Notre Dame. He always thought that was me, even though he
Oh my gosh.
was there. It's hysterical. It's hysterical. No matter how many times. And finally, he was telling people, "Oh yeah, Psychology Today did an article on my niece," and it's hysterical.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. So he just never could get that right, but he obviously,
Understandably,
he
wow.
obviously put
You all
me
need
up
to,
on a pedestal. So it was nice.
yeah, you all need to add an initial or something.
Yeah, right. I know. My dad always told me that. So maybe I will. But I actually publish under a different name. My pen name is Cameron Kelly. So
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
all right. So Natalie, I'm wondering. We have a lot of listeners who are also writers. And I'm wondering, what advice would you give to like emerging LGBTQ plus writers who maybe feel hesitant about, sharing their stories, and whether they're fictional or, autobiographical?
Yeah. I think just that there are people who will resonate with your story, and to go ahead and put it out there, even if you have to self-publish. Because queer books, traditional publishing for so long has been like, there's no market for this.
Yeah.
And now that there is, now that they know the market's there, they're paying attention to it. But for so long, queer books have lived in indie publishing.
Yeah.
And so it's okay to just put it out there and find the people who it resonates with.
Yeah, definitely. Great advice. And, I don't think a lot of people understand that even by just publishing their work, that they could be helping another queer person just kind of find themselves, be true to themselves. A lot of people are isolated, and I think more so now since we're post-pandemic. So I think, these books really help people in a lot of ways, and help them feel part of a community.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And there are a lot of traditional publishing houses that are publishing queer novels. And there are, traditional LGBTQ publishing houses that are still going strong, and we'll take a look at people's work. So, don't give up. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, Natalie, that's about all the time we have for today, but I am wondering if you have any parting words for our listeners.
Just, I hope that everybody's doing okay and finding joy and happiness wherever they are. If anybody wants to follow me, my handles are at Natalie Naudus, NATALIENAUDUS, on Instagram and TikTok. And if you go there, you can find my Patreon as well, or on my website.
Great. And you have a website. Okay. Are you on Facebook at all?
Only privately.
Okay.
For people I know. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So we will look for you on Instagram and Patreon, and we'll look for your website. That's awesome. So I have been talking with Natalie Naudus, and Natalie's debut novel is called Gay the Prey Away, with Quirk Publishing. So check it out, folks. I think you'll be enlightened with Natalie's work. So thanks again, Natalie, for being with us. That is all the time we have for today. I'm Anita Kelly, and thanks for joining Liz Talk About Books, baby. Until next time, may your journey be lighthearted, peace be plenty, and be safe, folks.